Good morning, councillors, staff and residents. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land we gather on today. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, for they hold the memories, traditions, culture and hopes of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples across this great nation. I extend my respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and community. I acknowledge their history of wisdom, resilience and survival, and respectfully thank them for their contribution to the life of this city and region. Thank you, councillors. Welcome to the Ordinary Council meeting of the 24th of May 2023. I declare this meeting open at 10 a.m. I would like to advise meeting attendees this meeting is being webcast and audio recorded. Can the gallery please be upstanding if you're able to, and join me in a moment of contemplation. This Friday is Fatality-Free Friday. It is so much more than a day. Road safety cause very dear to me, as this year marks 35 years since my brother passed away in a traffic accident. He was 20 years of age at that time. The pain never goes away, and serious road accidents have long-lasting impacts on the lives of those left behind. The pain and grief that follows such a loss is immeasurable, affecting not only immediate family members, but also extended relatives and close friends. Our family has endured the anguish of that loss for over 3 decades now, and has shaped our perception on road safety. It makes my blood boil when I see someone taking unnecessary risks on our roads. It's a complete lack of care and consideration for all other road users. Road safety is not just a concern for one day, like Fatality-Free Friday. It is an ongoing responsibility for everyone. Each time we step into a vehicle, whether as drivers, passengers or pedestrians, we have a duty to prioritise safety. It is important to remember that our actions on the road affect not only ourselves, but also those around us. Fatality-Free Friday serves as a reminder that road safety should be a year-round priority that requires a collective effort. By raising awareness, encouraging responsible behaviour, this initiative seeks to eliminate fatalities on our roads. We should all commit to safer driving practices every day. Together, we can work towards a future where Fatality-Free Friday becomes an everyday reality, where our loved ones return home safely. Thank you. Councillors, as we have previously approved the leave of absence for Councillor Bradley at the City Governance Committee meeting held on the 19th of April 2023, we have no further leaves of absence to record as everyone's here. So we'll keep moving on. Condolences. I now refer to condolences. Do any councillors have a condolence to raise? And I'll start at Councillor Lane. Councillor Russell. Councillor Kransky, Councillor Raven, Councillor Hall. No, that's first. Okay, well, that's a good sign. Okay, thank you. We'll go straight into congratulations. I now open the floor for congratulations. Do any councillors have a congratulations? I'll start at Councillor Lane. Thank you.
Mr Mayor, we all know that Division 2 is the heart of Logan, and as such, there's a lot of things that happen here. We had His Holiness Sam Detch, Priya Purum Pin Sam, come along to council last week, and Councillor Raven and I we're very grateful to have him come along. He's part of the Cambodian community, and on his visit to Australia, he actually presented the ratepayers of Logan with a beautiful painting, hand-painted, of Angkor Wat, the temple in Cambodia. He's an amazing man, a very dry sense of humour, as Councillor Raven found out. I would like to express congratulations to Kim, Lim, Nyok and Sarat for organising this visit, and congratulations to the Cambodian community. On the weekend, we had Boshaki Mila, which is a Bengali New Year. That celebration was on at the Kingston Butter Factory, and congratulations to the organisers of that. It was their first year here in Logan, and we're so grateful to have them here, and hopefully it gets bigger and bigger each year. Council supported the Brisbane Legends Open tournament, badminton tournament at Sky Badminton on the weekend. Amazing 2 days of play, and a lot of locals and people from outside came into Logan as part of their sport and spent some money here. The volunteers breakfast obviously happened, and Carol from Lechner had an amazing outcome for her award that she received, as well as our local volunteers from my division, who are the heart and soul of the city. I'm just putting it out there, and other councillors may disagree. But it's just wonderful to see them recognised in the way that they were. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Councillor Russell, Councillor Raven.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to ask that congratulations be forwarded to Queensland Muslims Incorporated for the Crest Walk Fun Run that was held in Berrinbar, the best running track in the city by anyone's account. That's been tested and proven.
What was your time?
It was the first time that they'd come to. I ran 6 kilometres, Mr Mayor. So because a whole bunch of people were running up a hill. And I thought, oh, we must be going a different way to the park run. So I ran up the hill, got all the way to the top, saw a whole bunch of people coming the other way and ran the other way. So I came 48th. But I would like to point out that I ran an extra kilometre, so it wasn't too bad. 36 minutes for 6Ks, it was all right. It was a great morning, and it was the first time they'd come to Logan. They love the venue, they love the Berrinbar wetlands because it's a great place for families to come and run and enjoy it. And it was great to see Councillor Russell there. She participated, she didn't run, she strolled, and she did community engagement while she was strolling. Councillor Fraser showed up as well. He was the smart one who just waited at the end to cheer us on as we came through the finish line. So it was a great morning, and it was good to see them come to Logan for the first time because we've got so many Muslims living in the area. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thanks for sharing that, Councillor Raven. Councillor Hall.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I too would like to thank the Griffith University for their annual Griffith Fun Run, which is held at the Meadowbrook campus in Logan. I got to hand out awards. Now, this year I decided not to run. I have run in previous years. I did the 10-kilometre run and I nearly died. So I chose this year to just do it on a motorbike, and no, I just chose this year to present awards, and they let me keep any awards that weren't presented, which was great. But no. Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like thanks to be carried on over to the Griffith University for organising that event. It was a fantastic event, and there was a lot of fun. And I'd like to thank all the sponsors that were involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hall. Councillor Fraser, Councillor Jeremiah.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I rise today to say a big congratulations to all the staff and students involved at the Parklands Christian College for a successful event on Saturday. The annual School Fete is an event anticipated and enjoyed by the wider local community, and this year's festivities saw over 50 market stalls by local businesses, food trucks, carnival rides, fireworks and performances by the students. The hundreds that made their way to the school grounds in Parkridge last weekend all gave great feedback on the event's success. I'd like to pass on my congratulations to the whole team at Parklands Christian College for a great afternoon. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Jeremiah. Councillor Stemp, Councillor Wilcox, Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to congratulations sent please to the Rotary Club of Beenleigh for the Beenleigh Cane Parade and Gala Ball. Mr Mayor, on Saturday the 13th of May, the locals flocked the streets of Beenleigh to cheer on over 50 floats that featured in the cane parade. There were some truly iconic features like the Beenleigh Lifestyle Centre, who paid homage to Dame Edna Everidge, and Merv Collard, who is a local man and cane hauler, set up his own modern-day cane hauler. The parade was followed by a free community festival at the Beenleigh Showgrounds with food vendors, carnival rides, entertainment, and concluded with a laser show. The following weekend, the Beenleigh rolled out the red carpet and treated guests to some of the best regional agricultural produce for the ball. The ball was a huge success and raised funds for the Mini Farm project, which aims to improve food security in Logan. I want to acknowledge the many businesses, individuals and councillors who supported the cause and attended the celebrations in Beenleigh. Councillors, it's events like this that are the lifeblood of our communities, and I'm so incredibly proud of the work that the Rotary Club of Beenleigh put in together for this event to be up and running. It's a lot of hard work to run the Cane Festival, and Beenleigh is better for it. The dates have already been set and announced. The parade is on Saturday, the 11th of May 2024, and the Gala Ball is on the 18th of May, and I can't wait. And I'd just also like to express, just like Councillor Lane, the volunteer breakfast was fantastic. Quota Beenleigh took out the organisation, and representing Rotary was John Mulroney. He had a massive day. He went to the breakfast in the morning, he had to go to a conference and then back in time for the parade. So thank you to all involved, and thank you to the councillors that come along and supported us on the day. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Well done, Councillor Murphy. Didn't take a breath, did you? Okay, thanks. I now refer to the minutes of the previous ordinary council meeting. I move that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 26th of April 2023 be confirmed. Is there a seconder to the motion? Councillor Wilcox is seconded the motion. Does anyone wish to speak to the motion? No. I now open the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. Therefore, the motion has been carried. I now refer to the declarations of conflicts of interest. Do any councillors wish to declare any new conflicts of interest against any items on today's agenda, including any conflicts which have subsequently arisen from matters discussed at committee? No? Well done. Now being none, I now refer to the next agenda item. Business arising from minutes. We have no business arising from minutes to consider, so we'll go straight into our committee reports. I now refer to the City Planning, Economic Development Environment Committee meeting held on the 16th of May 2023. Councillor Raven, Chairperson of the City Planning, Economic Development, Environment Committee. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to speak to both the motions that we had before us. Item 5.1 was a development application for MCUI 45 2022, which was a childcare centre in Division 5. I'll be voting against this motion. I spoke strongly against it in the committee, Mr Mayor. While I understand that the officers have done a fantastic job in doing everything they could to reduce the impact on my community, I just don't feel that it goes far enough due to the amount of traffic that's in that area and the impact it'll have on the neighbours. I do appreciate that I don't have any planning grounds to vote against this, but in the interest of the people, the good people of River Glen, who have made it very clear to me that they can't support this, I won't be supporting it either. Item 5.2 is a GB motion that Councillor Heremiah called for, and it's been received without any further action, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Raven. Do any further councillors wish to speak? None being so, there being none. Councillor Raven, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I now move that 1, the minutes of the City Planning, Economic Development and Environment Committee meeting held on the 16th of May be confirmed, and 2, that the recommendations of the City Planning, Economic Development and Environment Committee meeting held on the 16th of May be adopted.
Thank you, Councillor Raven. Councillor Raven has moved the motion. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Russell seconded the motion. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? No one wishes to speak to the motion. I now put it to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. Now I'll record those councillors who wish to record their name against any of the items in that report. And I'll start with Councillor Karansky.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Could I please have my name recorded against item 5.1?
5.1, Councillor Raven.
Against 5.1.
Councillor Wilcox.
I was against 5.1 as well.
Okay, any other councillors? No? Okay, thank you. We'll keep moving. I now refer to the City Infrastructure Committee meeting held on the 16th of May 2023. Councillor Lane, Chairperson of the City Infrastructure Committee, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr Mayor. I'll now speak to the recommendations. The committee was quite quick. We had some roads and drain program works and a confidential agenda item, which was a proposed acquisition of land. We had some good debate around that, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Do any other councillors wish to speak to any of the reports? No. There being no further speakers, Councillor Lane, you may proceed again.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I now move that the minutes of the City Infrastructure Committee meeting held on the 16th May be confirmed and that the recommendations of the City Infrastructure Committee meeting held on the 16th May 2023 be adopted.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Councillor Lane has moved the motion. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Fraser has seconded the motion. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? No. I'll now put it to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously, therefore it's been carried. Does any councillors wish to record their name against any of the items in that report? Councillor Lane.
Mr Mayor, I believe that I abstained from 5.2, but it's not reflected in the vote in the agenda.
So you're abstaining again?
Yes.
Yep. Any other councillors? Yep. Councillor Hiermeyer.
Abstain from item 5.2, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Any other councillors? No. Okay, thank you. We'll keep moving. I now refer to the City Lifestyle Committee meeting held on the 17th of May 2023. As the meeting was chaired by Councillor Hall, I will ask Councillor Hall, Deputy Chairperson of the City Lifestyle Committee, to speak on the recommendations. Councillor Hall, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I note that Councillor Murphy declared a conflict of interest in respect to item 5.2 of the City Lifestyle Committee meeting, where she voluntarily left the meeting, including while the matter was discussed and voted on. Therefore, item 5.2 will be separated from the bulk of the discussion today. Accordingly, I now ask Councillor Murphy to please leave the meeting until the matter has been voted on. I will now speak to the recommendations for item 5.2. That Council retain the whole of Lot 1 on SP 149187 is detailed in the confidential report titled Dorf Park Precinct Investigation. That the confidential report titled Dorf Park Precinct Investigation and associated attachments be placed into the public record at the discretion of the Director of Community and Lifestyle.
Thank you, Councillor Hall. Before we go any further, do any councillors wish to go into confidential for this? Any discussion? No. Okay. Thank you, Councillor Hall. As you know, Councillor Hall's spoken. Anyone wish to speak on 5.2? No. Okay. Councillors moved the motion. Is there a seconder? This is just 5.2. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Wilcox has seconded the motion. Does anyone wish to speak to the motion? I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has not been carried unanimously. So we have Councillor Kerensky. How do you vote?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to abstain and provide a reason if I could, please. And that reason is given that I wasn't privy to council discussions pertaining to the matter to date and wasn't present for Club Beenley's presentation to council. I've elected to abstain from today's vote.
Thank you, and I'll record my name against that motion as well. Thank you. Okay, could we get Councillor Murphy back in the room? Councillor Hall, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'll now speak to the remainder of the recommendations. At the City Lifestyle Committee last week, councillors received a quarterly update on the sports and community infrastructure projects taking place within the city. With exciting projects underway and nearing completion, council is looking forward to the community being able to utilise and enjoy them soon. Councillors also received a confidential report relating to the Dorf Park precinct in Beenleigh. Thank you to my fellow councillors for discussions and questions pertaining to the report and to the council officers for their expertise. In general business, the Director of Community and Lifestyle thanked Deputy Mayor Kerensky on behalf of the Directorate for her support during her time as Chair of the City Lifestyle Committee.
Thank you, Councillor Hall. Do any other councillors wish to discuss any of these items? No? Hand it back to you, Councillor Hall.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I now move that the minutes of the City Lifestyle Committee meeting held on the 17th of May 2023 be confirmed and that the recommendations of the City Lifestyle Committee meeting held on the 17th of May 2023, with the exception of item 5.2, be adopted.
Thank you, Councillor Hall. Councillor Hall's moved the motion. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Karansky has seconded the motion. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? No? Okay, I now put it to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. I now ask councillors whether they wish to record their name against any of those recommendations. No? Okay, thank you. I now refer to the City Governance Committee. Councillor Murphy, Chairperson of City Governance Committee, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I would like to note that the item 511 of the City Governance meeting will be addressed later in today's agenda and separate to the bulk of the adoptions of recommendations. I hand it back to you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Do any councillors wish to discuss any of those items other than 5.11? No? Okay, I'll hand it back to you, Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I now move that the minutes of the City Governance Committee meeting held on the 17th of May 2023 be confirmed, and number 2, that the recommendations of the City Governance Committee meeting held on the 17th of May 2023, with the exception of 5.11, be adopted.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Councillor Murphy has moved the motion. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Fraser has seconded the motion. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? No one wishes to speak to the motion. I now put it to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. Does anyone wish to record their name against any of the items? Councillor Stemp.
Mr Mayor, if I could just abstain from 5.8, please.
5.8?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other councillors? No? Thank you. I just want to talk to the CEO for a sec. Okay, Councillor Murphy. Okay, thank you. In relation to item 5.11, which is a confidential report, CoLab Innovation Growth Hub Strategic Review, brackets business case of the City Governance Committee, I would like to propose an amendment to the recommendation of the City Governance Committee on the 17th of May 2023 to include a requirement for a QTC assessment of the financial model. The amendment is the inclusion of Clause 5 into the resolution and is now displayed on the screen. And councillors should have a copy. There should have been a copy sent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to propose to move the motion, and then I'm going to ask whether or not you wish to go into confidential. So I'll now ask, I will move the motion. Is there a seconder to the motion? Councillor Karansky has seconded to the motion. So does anyone wish to speak to that? No. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? Yep. Councillor Bannon?
Is this where we go into confidential?
All right, okay. Thank you, Councillor Bannon. Councillor Bannon wishes to go into confidential. I note that item 15.11 is considered necessary to take the discussion of this report into a closed session. This matter relates to the Local Government Regulation 2012 Queensland Section 254J brackets 3G. It is considered necessary to take the discussion of the report into a closed session as it contains commercial in confidence information relating to the future structure, operation and funding arrangements of the CoLab. Do any councillors wish to move into closed session? Councillor Bannon does. If the intended discussion overview is different to the prepared motion as displayed on the screen, please provide updated wording. I think at the moment we just want to discuss this matter. I remind councillors that if there is no desire to discuss the confidential matters, there is no requirement to move into closed session. I now open the floor to councillors. So a motion has been put by Councillor Bannon to go into confidential. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Stemp has seconded the motion. I now put it to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. We're now in confidential. To full council. Okay, councillors, as you're aware, I moved a motion prior to going into confidential. I would like to remove that motion, and of inserting the word that the meeting must be addressed, the information must be available to the August committee. I'll move that motion. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Murphy has seconded the motion. Does anyone wish to speak to the motion? Yes, Councillor Raven.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your consideration and for the opportunity to understand better what you were trying to... Sorry, I'll stand up because we're not in confidential anymore. Thank you for making it clear what you were trying to achieve with the motion. I think that putting that specific time frame on it is reasonable, given that the work that's been done to date. Just to be clear, I know I asked you in confidential, Mr. Mayor, and this isn't a confidential question. You're supportive of the entire recommendation, obviously, because you're just moving an amendment.
That's correct, Councillor.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we have a seconder. Councillor Raven has spoken to the motion. Does anyone wish else to speak to the motion? No, I'll put the matter to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. Therefore, the motion has been carried. That finishes the committee structure. We'll go straight into the appointment of committee chairperson. So we have one council report to consider. I now refer to item 11.1, being the appointment of the City Lifestyle Committee chairperson. Before we move into discussion, I'd like to acknowledge that in accordance with section 150 EFD bracket 3 of the Local Government Act 2009, this item is considered ordinary business, and therefore conflicts of interest are not required to be called or notified, and all councillors can participate in the discussion and vote on this item. I invite Mr Darren Scott, Chief Executive Officer, to join the discussion. Mr Scott, you may proceed.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. So Councillor Kransky was appointed Deputy Mayor on the 26th of April 2023 and has subsequently resigned as the Chair of City Lifestyle Committee. So in terms of the process from here, the Mayor will call for nominations for the position of Chair. If there's more than one nomination, then we need to go to a ballot, and we'll go through that if that comes to pass. But I'll now hand back to the Mayor to call for nominations for Chair.
Thank you, Mr CEO. I now call for any councillors to nominate for the position of chairperson. I've received a nomination here from Councillor Hall. Do any other councillors wish to nominate? No, that being so, subsequently, okay, so Councillor Hall has nominated for the position of chairperson. There being no other nominations, this will be considered as a motion, so we'll get that on the board. Yeah. Okay, I thought we had to move the, do we do it in one? Do it all together. Okay, we do it all together. Sorry, I thought we were going to move the chair by itself, but apparently that subsequently vacates the position of deputy chairperson. Do any councillors wish to nominate for the position of deputy chairperson of the City Lifestyle Committee? We've got Councillor Wilcox and Councillor Russell. So there is a situation where we've got two, but we do have two in other chair portfolios, so we will roll that into the recommendation on the board that we have two deputies. So I'll wait for the minute clerks to put the motion up on the board. I have put the girls under a bit of pressure today, so just be mindful of that. Okay, councillors, as you can see the motion on the board, I'll move the motion. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Anyone wish to speak to the motion? No? I now put the matter to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. Well, it's good to see. It's been carried unanimously. Therefore, the motion has been carried. Congratulations, Councillor Hall. And congratulations to the 2 new deputies. Okay, well, we now have no late reports to consider. Do any councillors have a petition to present? No. Consideration of notified motions. We have no notified motions to consider. I now refer to general business. Today we are starting at Division 11. Councillor Wilcox,
And
you may
amazingly,
start.
amazingly, I actually don't have anything today. Thank you.
Councillor Murphy. Councillor Lane. Never let us...
I got lots. So, Mr Mayor, we can talk about all the great things happening in the community, or we can talk about the things that are coming up in the community. I'd really like to point out some of the things that we've got coming up in my division. On the 26th of May, we've got the Milky Way Markets. That's this Friday night from 4:30 to 9 p.m. Go along and support them. On Sunday, we've got the Heritage Fair down at the Kingston Butter Factory, and our local museums put a lot of effort into that. So please, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m, pop into the Kingston Butter Factory. On the 3rd of June, we've got the Philippines Festival coming up at the Kingston Butter Factory. Sights sound absolutely amazing. On the 10th of June, we've got the Kingston Butter Factory Breakfast Markets, which is a new initiative by the Chamber of Commerce, and we're really supportive of those markets being there. On the 10th of June, the Palliative Care Ball is on at Logan Diggers to raise funds for our end-of-life ward at Logan Hospital. So there's tickets still available. Hook in and buy them, or get in for some of the auction prizes. On the 18th of June, we've got Rath Yatra, which is the Journey of the Chariots, happening at the Baptist Temple. You've been invited, Mr Mayor. Hopefully we'll see you there between 2 and 5 p.m. That's on Clare Road at Kingston. And on the 18th of June, we also have the Deadly Dash Markets, which is a new market that's opened up at Yolumba Street shops. So many things to see and do in Division 2. Get out, be cool.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Councillor Russell. Councillor Karansky. Councillor Raven. Councillor Hall. Up you get.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, I'd just like to thank everyone for that vote of confidence for me to step into the role of Lifestyle Chair. It's a very important portfolio for me. I've been involved with factors of the lifestyle portfolio most of my life. As many of you know, I grew up in parks, so I certainly know what it's like when, the parks toilets aren't up to scratch, or if there's no toilet paper in them. So to me, this is a very important portfolio, especially things like our libraries. Without a public library, I wouldn't have been able to get an education. So I understand how important our public libraries are and how important the staff is in those libraries, because they helped me through a very tough time in my life. So I'd like to see those services continue. Secondly, I'd also like to congratulate my 2 new deputies for the portfolio. I definitely know they'll keep me in check. And they're great people as well. So I look forward to working with you in the lifestyle portfolio. And thank you, staff, as well. I've had great history with the team as well. It's going to be great to work with them. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Hall. Councillor Fraser, Councillor Hiremeier, Councillor Stemp, Councillor Wilk. No, you started. So that's it. So that concludes our meeting for today. I now declare the meeting of the Ordinary Council closed at 11:09. Thank you.